Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Prince Automation Destination. This side Prince. Welcome once again to our BDD Cucumber series. Today we are going to dive deep into Datatable. Though we have covered Datatable at high level as part of Cucumber series already, but today we are going to understand it at low level and we'll understand the numerous scenarios where we can utilize Datatable. So first of all, what is data table? So data table is a data structure of Cucumber to pass data to a particular test step, right? So this is the syntax. So as when we work in Cucumber, so what we do is we write the test cases in the form of plain English, and to these plain English we can pass the test data as well, which can be passed in the form of string or integer. Likewise, we can pass it in the form of data table as well. When we have numerous data, then we pass it in the form of data table, right? So this is the syntax. So simply what we need to do is whichever step we want to pass data, we need to maintain the data in the form of pipes, right? So if you take a look at this, this is a form of data table, right? So first column indicates the label, and the second column indicates the corresponding data, right? So username, first row first column is username, and first row second column is the actual username data, right? Likewise, second row first column is password, and second row second column um, is like secret source, which is the actual password, right? So this is how we create the data table. Now we need to capture this particular data table in the form of Java as well. So how we will do that? So we can pass this data table from Cucumber as an object as well, and in the form of Java collection as well, right? So what we are doing is, this is the first case where we are trying to access data table as an object. So what we have done is we have simply copy pasted this particular text of Gherkin step in this particular method and created one method, and we are passing data table object as an argument, right? Now this data table argument or table object can be used to convert this data table data structure into the Java known data structure, which could be list, map, something, right? So let us try to understand this particular case first, right? So what I've done is I'm considering very basic example. I'm trying to launch sourcedemo.com where I'm entering the credentials and then clicking on login. So in this entering the credentials, I need two data. First one is username and second is password. So same thing I'm using. So this is the username and this is password. So what I'm doing is I'm going inside this. So I have passed it in the form of data table, and this is how I'm passing the driver reference to the login page. This is page object model, which is out of scope for the current lecture. Then what we are doing is we are converting this data table in the form of map. So when we are converting this data table in the form of map, what will happen is it will create a map, right? Which with this as a key and this as value, then this as a key and this as value, right? Once we got it in the form of map, then what we are doing is we are getting the username field and we are passing the username data first, and then we are passing the password. So this is how we can access the data table, right? In the form of data table object. So let me run this particular case first. So how we run test cases in Cucumber? So we simply copy the tag and we put it into the runner. So I'm going to copy it, and now I'm going to paste it. When I'm run this, when I'll be running this particular test case, it should launch the URL, and then it should be able to enter the credentials and it should be able to log in into the application, right? But this is what the flow says, right? So you see that we are able to log in into this particular application. And so this is one way we can access data table. Then depending on the shape of table, we can access data table as Java collection directly. So for example, it can be converted, or we, instead of using data table object, we can simply use list of string as well, and we can use it, we can directly use map of string comma string as well, and then we can use list of map of string comma string as well, and list of string. Likewise, like they're like two more forms, but we'll be focusing on initial for type of cases, right? Now let us try to understand how to use data table as list of string. Suppose on this source demo app itself, after logging into the application, I want to verify these three products, right? So if you take a look at this, this is what? So this is one string, this is second string, and this is third string. So we can call it like list of string. right? So instead of passing data table, we can directly use list of string and we can name any variable, right? So if you will notice, so we have simply copy pasted this particular text in this particular Java step, and instead of using data table, I'm this time using list of string, right? Now let me show you this example, data table as a list. So again, this is same steps. I'm launching URL, I'm entering credentials, clicking on login. These steps are already covered, right? Now I'm going to verify these following products, right? So what I've done is, instead of using data table this time, I'm directly using list of string and products. Then what I'm doing is I'm iterating it on the products, and then I have created one generic XPath in which if I'll pass the product, I'll be able to point to any of the product of the source demo, right? So for example, to the XPath, if I'll pass source labs backpack, it will point to this particular XPath, particular element I mean. And if I'll pass source labs bike light, it will be pointing to this particular element in this product section, right? So what we are doing is we are getting the element, right, based on the this particular data one by one, and then what we are doing is we are trying to validate it using the is displayed method, right? So now what I'm going to do in this case is I'm simply going to copy it and put it into the text. Again, it should be able to launch the URL, should be able to log in into the application, and then it should be able to verify all three products. So you see that it got passed, right? Now the another case is, for example, we are trying to pass data in the form of key value pair. So what will happen is it will consider this as a keys and this as value. So how it will work, like map of key comma value. So what will happen, this will consider this as a key and this as respective value, and this as key and this as value, and this as key and this as value. So in this case, so instead of passing data table, what we'll do is we will create map of string comma string and product price map. So I'm now going to show this particular case. So this is the case, data table as a map. So what we are trying to do in this case is, let me show you from the manual flow. We are trying to locate this particular element, and then we are trying to verify the corresponding price as well, right? So this is what we are doing. So let me show you once again. So we are this is the product name and this is its respective price. So what we're trying to do inside is, so first of all we are passing it in the form of map, and then we are iterating this map on the entry set. Now this entry will contain each entry one by one, right? Again, I'm using the same XPath to locate the element, but in this time I'm using entry.getKey. So what entry.getKey will give, entry.getKey will give me this particular key or this particular product, and entry dot in the second step, what I'm doing is after getting this product, using this product I'm trying to get the relative uh, like price using this preceding sibling colon div. So this is how we find the XPath actually, which is out of scope for current lecture. So first I got the product name, and using this product name I am trying to find its child element, or we can say its relative element, using find element. Then what we are doing is we are getting the text and using entry.getValue. So first, after getting the text from the DOM, we are trying to compare it from the data that we have passed on the feature file, right? So this is how, when we are passing the data in this form, so we can simply pass it in the form of map of string comma string, right? So this is another way, right? Now for example, if instead of passing it like this, right, what we want is, let us say we want to maintain the map in such a way that we want to maintain label the first row as a key, right, and second, third, fourth row as the value, right? So in this case what will happen is first row and second row will constitute one map, and first row and third row will constitute another map, and first row and fourth row will constitute another map, right? So in this case what we can say is this is list of map, because we have three maps. First row and second row is one map, first row and third row is second map, and first row and third, sorry, fourth row is another map, right? So we can call it like list of map, right? So in this case what we'll be doing is we'll be simply creating this user verifies following products and respective prices with labels, And hey, if you will notice here, so what we have done is we are passing it list of map of string comma string, right? So this is how it will look like. So product name, source lab backpack. So this is first map entry, product name, source backpack, source labs backpack, right? Then this is a key, right, for first map, and this is value. This is key of second map and respective value. This is another key of second map and respective value. Likewise for this is the data for the third map, right? Now let me show you this particular case. So data table as list of map, right? So what I've done is, so if I compare it with the above case, I have simply introduced one more row, product name and product price. And what I'm doing is, instead of using it like map of string comma string, this time using it like list of map of string comma string. So what I've done is, so first of all, I'm iterating this list. So when I'll be iterating this list, so what I'll get is I'll get map, because this is list of map, right? Now using this map, what I'm trying to do is, again I'm going to pass the product name, right? So when I'll use row dot get product name, so when I'll do row dot get product name, let me show you from here. Row dot get product name, it will give me this product, and when I'll do row dot product price, it will give me this particular price, right? So let me show you. So first again we got the product. We populated this product name from the feature file using a list of map by iterating list. Then what we are doing is, using this product, we are trying to get the text, and this time to compare it, what we are doing is we are again getting the text row dot get product price, right? And again we are comparing it in the assertion. So this is how we are doing it, and this is how we can convert it in the form of list of map, right? Now the last case is, we can convert the same table, right? Same table we can convert it in the form of list of string. So let me show you an example. If I want to, if for example I don't want to use it like map of string comma string, instead I want to use it in the form of list of string, right? So if you will notice, so if I'll show you, so we can say like this is one list, right? Source lab backpack comma this, and this is another list, this is third list, right? And in total this is also a list, so list of list we can say. So we can capture this like a list of list as well. So now if I'll go inside this, so I'm capturing it like list of list, and I'm iterating it based on the rows. And again what I'm doing is, so first of all I'll be getting first list. So what would be the first list? So first list dot get 0 will give me this list, and from this list, if I'll again do list dot get 0, I will get this particular column. And if I'll do list dot get 1, I'll get this particular column. So what we are doing is, we are iterating it based on int I equal to 0. So what we are trying to do, so first of all we are getting the first list from the list of list, because this is list of list, so we are getting the first list, right? We got the first list. Then what we are doing is, we are trying to get the first column, so which would be the product name. So list dot get of I will give me the first list, because this is the first iteration. Then I'm trying to get the 0th column, or 0th element, which would be the first column, right? Likewise now to verify the text, or to verify the price, list of list dot get of I dot get of 1, because get of 1 will give me this particular price. So this is how we can convert in the form of many forms, right? This is how we can convert data table in many forms. So let me quickly recap. So what we have discussed, so we discussed how we can pass data table to the Gherkin step. Then we discussed how we can access data table as an object, which can then be converted in many forms. It can be converted in the map, it can be converted in the form of list, right? So whatever way you want to convert, you can convert. It has many methods. Then we discussed how we can directly use list of string, map of string comma string, list of map of string comma string, and list of string. This we haven't covered, but it can be used as well depending on the uh, shape of the table, right? So first we discussed, when we want to verify, or when we have this type of structure of data table, so we can simply map this particular step with list of string internally in the step definition. Then we discussed, when we have key value pair, we can use like this. And when we have key value pair, but along with that we have label, then first row will be considered as the keys, and second row, third row, and fourth row, or the subsequent rows, will be considered as value of the keys, right? So this will be list of map. And at last we discussed that we can convert the same thing, same structure in the form of list of list as well. So we'll get access to each list, and after getting the access to each list, we can get the respective elements by getting the access to the indexes. So this is what I wanted to cover, guys, as part of data table, and is very important topic and is very useful and can help you implementing the test cases in the very beautiful way. So thank you, guys. I would request you to please like, share and subscribe. Thank you once again.